I've literally had someone who was like on the phone with me, like, well, like you should have been like more professional. I was like, for what? Like, if they don't want to work with me because I wrote an email like that, then they're not my ideal person.
Yeah.
Welcome to Built in Vegas, the podcast where we spotlight the stories, strategies, and resources behind the businesses that make Vegas thrive. Whether you're starting up or scaling up, you're in the right place. Brought to you by the Video Podcast Studio.
We need to be doing it.
Man, it's the weirdest thing. You see that in my content of just like, fuck, that's like the one thing about when you're a business owner, it's like struggling to do the thing for yourself.
Well, I think especially when it comes to like branding, like for me, like I understand marketing, you know, I've been doing that for a long time. And any other business that comes to me, I'm like, oh yeah, we can do this, we can do that. Well, you got to tell your story this way. And then it comes to us, I'm like, what do we do?
Literally. I mean, because you have to think about positioning, you have to think about your overall brand, you have to think about your messaging. Like, how are you actually representing yourself long term? And it's kind of weird when you think about it like that. You're like, oh, fuck, like, what's the goal here?
Yeah. How did you even get into branding in the first place?
I got into branding. So I worked venture capitalist firm. I worked with small boutique marketing firms, and then I worked with a wealth management. We did crypto, all different types of things, and I watched startups, and there was just all this different background. And I was like, every single time I talked to a startup founder, it was talking about how, oh, like you're bringing these big decks to these investors, and what is your actual company? Like, I don't understand it. And so once I got down to it, I was just like, what do we do here? Like, how do we fix this? And I had my final job working with a wealth management firm and working in crypto, and creating a brand from scratch was really fun. But kind of looking at that long term, I was like, man, how do I help people fix this? Because like it really is just about the way that you're telling someone something, rather than like, I think we think of marketing as just like a quick fix. Like instantly you should be making money. Instantly it should be like this rapid thing, which like you can, but branding is that long-term game. Like you have to like figure out your mission. Like what is the overall goal? What do you want to be known for? And so that being said, it's like much longer journey to like kind of discover, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And how do you even start that process? Like how do you even start going, okay, this is what my brand is?
Honestly, you have to start with the fact of like, what do you want to be known for? And that comes with like starting a business as a personal brand, wherever you are. It's like, what do you actually want to be known for? And so many categories. It's like business, content creation, whatever it is that you're good at, like make it something that's fun. Like I include a lot of the things that I do with like, I love the brand Liquid Death. And so that is all I stock my fridge with. I'm like, please sponsor me. Like, like find the things that make it fun, that you love, that you want to be known for like me. So like, I want to be known for like being a branding coach. For you, what do you want to be known for?
We're trying to figure that out. I mean, with the studio, we want to be known for helping small businesses grow, build connections, and generate revenue.
Perfect. So then that's your business. And then for your personal brand, I know that you're kind of like in the middle of kind of developing that, yeah?
Yeah, my personal brand, I don't really know what I want to do, because like I know what I want to do like 5-10 years from now, and I kind of want to start building that now. And I think I think this type of stuff that we're doing kind of helps me to what I want to do in the future. But like I don't really post anything on my personal stuff. Like I don't really have a personal page or anything. Like I show up more on the company page.
I know when you like messaged me, I was like, there's like no photo of you. I was like, who am I talking to? I mean, like obviously Greg told me a lot about you, which was great. And then I was just like, okay, like I'm going to meet him in person anyway. So
yeah, I'm probably one of the worst like social media people that like does stuff on social media.
Okay, but I think we all start out like that, right? Like I started out like every time I bring this up of like I used to be a hermit. Like I was like anti-social media, never wanted to be on it. And now I make videos for a living and like do the things and help people. It's weird. Like sometimes you really have to break out of your own shell.
Oh, yeah. Like I never wanted a podcast. I never wanted to get in front of the camera.
Yeah, here we are.
I've done 20 years behind it. And then it was like we started building this place. I was like, all right, like I got to start doing this for a few different reasons. One, to prove that this stuff works, like the stuff that we are preaching to our clients works. And then two, like because it does work, I should be doing it. And then you get more used to it the more you do it. But like it was super awkward at first, for sure.
You have to find your voice. And I remember I got that feedback from like an old friend that was just like, these videos didn't even look like you. Like they don't even sound like you. And I was like, great. Like I'll get there. Like, thank you. Like I know that I need that feedback, but like you need the baby steps. Like, you need the cringe period. You need so much more space to really kind of figure out who you actually want to be in order to find it.
No, I love that. We say the same thing too. Like when people come in for their first time, especially if they want to do solo episodes, because it's just so much harder if you haven't really created content.
Yeah.
Solo episodes are hard, and so like I always say, like you're gonna like hate your first couple. I actually just had this marketing law firm company in here, and they market for law firms or something like that for like big cases, and they did like their first episode, and I was like, cool, so you guys are gonna hate this, right? Like we did, it was like a sample episode. I was like, you guys are not gonna like this, and I gave them a few pointers, like, hey, let's try it this way instead, because they also went super scripted. So they're just like, so tell me about this, right? And there's no personality in that at all.
Yeah.
And then they did a lot better on this little second run. I asked them a couple questions. I was like, just talk about that to each other.
Yeah.
And they did better. But
yeah, I think really truly sitting in front of a camera is like, you have to imagine that it's not there just in order to do the job right. Like, you really just have to imagine that you're either creating a script, whether if you're reading a script or just like acting. I think people just want that authenticity right now. And like, as much as I almost hate using that word authenticity because it feels like a buzzword, which is like not my favorite thing to do. But it's like, you can tell how much people are really craving that. Oh, let me see your mess ups. Let me see your bloopers. Let me see the real conversations in between, because why the F not? Like, like what? We're humans. Like, we're going to mess up. We're going to be unpolished and imperfect and all of these things. Like, why do we feel like we have to be this mountain of something in order to be successful?
no, exactly. And once again, same stuff that we tell our clients. It's like, especially in the podcast format, like this is meant to be a lot more authentic, right? The audience is just that fly on the wall watching what's this conversation that they wouldn't have been privy to otherwise.
Yeah.
And so like you making mistakes and kind of laughing at it is like, it's enduring. It makes you more human. It feels more authentic. If it's too polished, then it's like, this feels fake, right? Like this doesn't feel right. And it's all about the medium, right? Because I still do like production stuff for businesses, and you know, certain types of videos, like a TV commercial or the website video about us, we want that polished. We want it to seem very professional. We don't want to leave a ton of mistakes in there. But even then, like I've always been a fan of like when we do customer case study videos, I'm leaving their ums in there. Yeah. I'm leaving their little stutters in there, because that shows that this isn't a paid actor. This is somebody who was nervous to get in front of the camera, but they were willing to because they believed in the product so much.
Yeah, I love that.
And so I think depending on the medium, right, like you want to show that authenticity. You want to show just that realness. But, you know, a question I have about building a brand is, this is something we struggle with, I feel like, in the studio, is I don't want it to be about me. Like I want the business to be the brand. I want, you know, the studio to be the brand, but I feel like I'm the one that's all like, I have to create the content, right? Especially because we're so small, but I don't really want to be like the face of all of it. Like, how do I get around that? Is there a way around that, or do I have to just suck it up and go with it?
Sometimes you do have to take the L, because it depends. Like, you have amazing people like Greg, and what was your name again? Gabe. Okay.
He's less amazing.
Okay. No, we love Gabe. We have Greg and Gabe. So like, that being said, it's like, if they wanted to be the face of something, maybe, right? Like, I know, like, obviously we're behind cameras, so they like something about it. But as a business owner, I think we have to put the reps in to do all of the things. So one of the things, like myself as a branding coach, I am a strong advocate for a business owner to understand how to create content, how to understand marketing, and how to run your own social media, based off the fact that you can hire a social media manager or a person to be the face of everything, but God forbid something happens to them, they disappear, there's no transfer of knowledge, you're left with a lack of knowledge of even understanding the foundation of your brand, and then what? So I'm like, to a degree, I think you need to have the reps, and I think why not be the face of it, because then it's personable. Because if I just recently that I saw your face in content, I was like, oh, that's what he looks like. Then it kind of includes the fact that I'm getting to know you. I'm getting to see your face, who's in the studio, who do I get to connect with outside of like, I happened to meet Greg when I was here last time. I happened to meet other people where it's like, okay, this is cool, but who is the founder? Who is running the company, and how can I interact with them? Yeah.
I started posting a little bit more, and then we go like in ebbs and flows of it, because it's like a struggle always of like, oh, what do we talk about, right? And in the past I've tried this, and I think we're going to try it again in the future too, and see if it works again later on. But where I would kind of script what I want them to talk about. But the problem is, this is like, since they don't have my experience and my knowledge, and that's really what kind of crafts the experience here, because like it's not just about pushing buttons behind the thing. It's not just about like the setups. It's about the guidance that we're offering. But most of that guidance is coming from me. It's a lot harder to try to get them to say those things on camera and feel natural if it's scripted versus just understanding it. And so we're trying to figure out how to do that. But I think, like I was telling you, we're going to start doing like these little like just little skits. And I think that'll be like a fun way to like show everybody, and then also like do some education but be funny with it too. I
mean, truly, I think we're like, you guys are so good at editing. Like, I've seen all of the clips that you've done. Like, you worked with my friend Celeste, and there's so many pieces where have someone read, like, memorize like 2 lines. They can do that and then go through it, right? Try different tones, different cadence. Does this sound right? Does it not sound right? Like, try different things, like with so many different angles and different kinds of people. But I mean, like for you, right? You say, I don't know if people can do this because it's me. I'm the one that runs this, right? Have them like mockingly mirror you and be like, oh, I can do this because I'm like you. Like, it's funny. Whereas in the sense of the imperfects, the real like behind the scenes of the fact that you are the one running the show, but you're trying to teach other people, that's what's real. That's what's funny.
Yeah, no, I love that. What do you see as like, you know, as a branding coach, what do you see as like one of the biggest struggles that most businesses struggle with when it comes to branding?
Overcomplicating messaging. That is like one of the biggest thing, because you and I, brilliant, smart, educated, like well thought out of business owners, right? But even the simple thing of coming into a podcast studio can be complicated by the fact that you're like, well, I know this system, I know this camera, I know this processor, and you're like, okay, cool, how do I film a podcast? Like, what do I do? Because it's like someone's asking you the baseline of how can you help me solve this problem, and if you go overcomplicated, they're just like, it's trying to talk to like literally Gen Z, like scrolling through TikTok, and they're like, okay, listen to me for 5 seconds, and they're like, can I look now? Like, can I like not stop paying attention? Because attention spans have changed. But that being said, you can't overcomplicate it when you are the subject matter expert. You have to make it simplified, like 3rd grader level. Like, you have to really think about, it's not making people feel like they're dumb, but it's talking to them at a level that they understand a complicated or complex idea, solution, problem, whatever it is.
I love that, and I agree, because I feel like so many times that these businesses, like, they just have that insider knowledge, right? Mm-hmm. And they have those words that they use inside their industry that their clients might not know at all, right? I remember I filmed for this software company in the pharmacy space. So it was like pharmaceutical language plus software language, and I was like trying to edit that. I was lost, and like talking to them, and like over time we built a relationship. I was like, look, I understand that people in your industry like somewhat know what these words mean, but I guarantee you there's so many that don't. Like, it needs to be explained so well that I, as an outsider, understand a majority of it. Like, there's still going to be inside language, because, like, you know, if we talk about branding, a person who doesn't own a business, who's never heard that word, might not understand it, but they also don't need to understand it, so it's not relevant to them. Mm-hmm. And so you have to simplify it and not focus on those like words that don't matter, or the services or the parts of your business that don't matter. Like, I don't care about what computing system you're using. Yeah. I just care, can you solve my problem?
Exactly. Because like, unless you're specifically focusing on like a certain group of people, like per se architects or sales leaders, sure, maybe they'll understand the language, but at the same time, is somebody who's really working in that space going to want to read the same thing that they're reading all day? No, they want to read something simplified, easy, quick. Like, we're overcomplicating something when we can make it so simple, because we've been taught that, like, the same way that we like learn how to write essays, right? You were taught like, well, you can't write the way that you think, or you can't write the way that you talk. And now it's like, no, please write the way that you talk, because I don't want to hear essay style format. I don't want to hear professional, because that's not you. And if that is you, that's fantastic. Like, keep that. But if it's not you, why would you even remotely want to write like that? But we've been taught that for so long. And however long you've been out of school, I think we all think of that, of like, oh, this has to sound a certain way, because it was literally like drilled into us, like, this is what it has to be.
Yeah. No, I agree. I always struggle with sounding smart. Because I just write the way that I think, and I'm like, I look at my emails a lot of times. I'm like, I can't believe like I run a business and these are what my emails look like. Like there's no grammar, there's no punctuations. It's just like run-on sentences for days and like random thoughts. And I'm like, oh, maybe this, but I'm not sure. And I'm like, I go back, I'm like, why do my clients work with me?
I'd write emails the same exact way. I've literally had someone who was like on the phone with me, like, well, like you should have been like more professional. I was like, for what? Like if they don't want to work with me because I wrote an email like that, then they're not my ideal person.
Yeah, but I like what you were saying, right? Like we have to simplify it. There's a guy named like Donald Miller. Have you ever heard of Donald Miller? So I like his stuff. Followed it for years, and there's a saying he always says, which is like, if you confuse, you lose, right? And I love that because it's true. Like if the second you start going to the details, like I always explain to my guys too, like if you're giving a tour to somebody at the studio, we're not here to talk about the technicality of the lights, the switchers, the stuff, like what Kelvin and all these ISOs and the f-stops or any shutter speed or anything like that. Like nobody cares. They just care. Yeah. Am I going to look pretty? Yeah. Am I going to feel comfortable? I'm spending money on this to help generate leads to my business. Is this going to help me? Right? Yeah. They care about those things. They don't care about the technical aspects where we might sometimes like want to geek out and be like, oh yeah, we run this. And by the way, look at this patch system we have, right? And like, they don't care. And I see that like in my industry, a lot of businesses and in every industry, I feel like most businesses struggle with that part of simplifying the message and focusing on what really matters to your clients.
Yeah, I agree. I was literally just at Alex Hormozzi's event. Like he does these events like maybe a couple times a month. And he was talking about that very thing about like messaging being overcomplicated. And so he got this example of like the last day he did Q&As, and this one guy came up and he was a doctor and did some sort of medical practice. I didn't know what he was saying, but I understood Alex's answer because he's like, what I do with my ads and what I do to simplify things is one, I always put it into Hemingway. And I was like, great. Hemingway is a great app. Love it. Not sponsored. Like literally just talking about like that helps you simplify things. But he literally, like this doctor was like, okay, I help people maybe find the help that they need with health insurance or something like that, right? And Alex was like, okay, that sounds cool enough. So you basically help people go from sad face to happy face without the talkie, but you can do it through insurance. He's like, is that right? And he was like, yeah. And I remember that because it was so simple. And I have told that example to like my clients, my friends, because it was so simplified. I'm like, I know that guy's job forever and I don't even remember him.
Yeah.
But because that was so simplified, I was like, granted, that was like a very cheesy, childlike example. But because it was so simple, I'm like, okay, great. Where do I find that?
I love that. No, that's great. I lost my train of thought on what I was going to follow up with. Because I was thinking about the sad face to happy face.
Isn't that funny? I was like, he like literally talked like that the whole time, and just like listening to him simplify everything, like everyone was straightforward. Just even like having conversations was just easy.
When I think what you see happens when you talk to people that way is this sigh of relief. They're like, oh, so you do this? And it's like, yes. And they're like, oh, that's what I needed, right? And it's not, so you're not talking down to them. You're not talking to them like they're dumb. You're talking about in a way that they understand and can see the benefit of working with you, which is incredibly important. But I think it's hard to do. Like it's easy to say just simplify, but how do we do that? How do we simplify it?
I mean, easy things are like to help you with that is like ChatGPT. Like, you know, we're all using AI these days, and if you're not, we're just a little behind. But I think use it to simplify in like third grader language. Use Hemingway. Find the resources that help you kind of break down complex ideas. And then also you can watch, I forget his name, but there's a really good creator I watch. He talks about like literally specifically creating content. And he's like, okay, so I can talk about a really complex idea, but then the next slide or word after that is like breaking it down into simple terms. So like he did a video talking about Tony Stark and how this guy literally made the Iron Man suit. And he was like, so there's the thing that makes the heart turn blue. I forget what it's called. Maybe like we could say like flux capacitor for like old time's sake, right? right? And say that is the complicated word. And he was like, oh, it's like the thing that makes the engine turn on. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. Because he follows up the complex idea with a simplified idea. So it's like, if you do stuff like that very quickly, I think people adapt, like, oh, cool, that's what that means, we can move on. Like, stuff like that helps a lot of people. And granted, my example was very botched, but point being is that you can simplify anything.
I'm trying to think what I wanted to do. I had another idea in my head and it literally just left.
Oh, we hate when those ideas leave.
Yeah. Because then I was just thinking about the Iron Man suit.
I love a good Iron Man suit. Are you a Marvel guy?
I'm not really an anything guy. I got no hobbies, no.
Don't you have a kid?
Yeah.
I was like, they don't like Marvel or comics or anything?
Both of them. My little son, my 3-year-old, actually turns 4 tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
He likes the Iron Man song, but then you try to put on Iron Man and he doesn't care at all. He just likes the song.
So he just likes AC/DC, basically.
And then we found this like electronic version, like I don't know if it's dubstep or whatever, but it has like this like kind of overweight person with like a costume Iron Man suit on and like a drawn on mask. And he loves that picture. So he loves that version of the song even more. He's always like, turn on funny Iron Man.
That's funny. So, I mean, like, then your hobbies are, I mean, I feel like hobbies are hard as an entrepreneur sometimes because you get so wrapped up in business.
Yeah. Well, and then also like having kids, like my time spent at the hockey rink because my son plays hockey and it's pretty time consuming. And then my little one doesn't really have any hobbies yet. He just needs playtime and runs around.
Yeah.
And then you got to spend time with the wife. And then, so I don't really have any hobbies. I used to play music. I used to do other stuff, but like, I just don't have time for it. Like, just work.
I know it's a lot. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I don't have, so I try to find time to even, like, I love SVU, like Law and Order SVU is like one of my favorite shows. So like, if I'm really needing space or like time to just veg, I'll like have it on in the background while I work because like I've seen it all before, and so I'll just have it run. That's what I used to do in college. I was just like, let me run The Office in the background, something that I can like look back to if I need a brain break, but then can focus on if I don't.
How important is it for founders to have like a personal brand? Like, should you have one? Like, once again, going back to me, like I don't have like an Instagram page where I'm like building me. Like I got my stuff where I post my stuff about my kids and that's it. And then I have my like company pages. Like, should I have an Instagram that's like me and talking about the business more? Or is that important?
I mean, do you want me to tell you like honestly?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah. Only because in this day and age where how everything is shifting, yeah, you need one. Because let's say hypothetically in 5 years you wanted to write a book. You were like, okay, I really want to write a book. Like maybe like your kid did something cool or like something happened and you're like, this is a life event that I want to talk about. Book writers or like publishers nowadays don't do anything without personal brands. Like it's like almost like what's your follower count, how many people are following behind you, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is almost requiring people to really be like, what and who are you talking to? Like, what are you talking about? Who are you talking to? Is there people who actually want to listen? Because having a pre-established brand helps and it goes a long way. And so I think, excuse me, you as a business owner, yeah, you absolutely should. But I think it's also because people want to know you. And like I said, of just the pure example of not seeing you on your page before and like minus a week ago, knowing what you look like is also comforting because then you're just not walking into a podcast studio not knowing somebody. You're like, oh, hey, I know you. Versus like, I know who's behind the camera. I know who's like behind the deck. That's also helpful, right? Because just in case we don't have like a FaceTime call or something like that or a Zoom call to prep beforehand. But then that coincides with your personal brand. Because then if like they're like, oh, I want to get to know him more. How can I learn more? Then they go to your page and they're like, what is he doing? What does he like to do? Is there anything fun that I could learn from him? Because maybe the business is all how to grow a podcast or just being a small business owner and understanding what it's like to do a podcast in a studio versus maybe that personal brand is talking about all the tips that you talk about regularly. Like, what do you talk behind the scenes with people? The things that you wish you could transfer to your team, you can talk about where people can go refer those videos. So that sort of stuff. I think it's incredibly important to have now.
Okay. So like a combo of both, like showing up on the company page, but then also having a personal brand where I'm creating content about the business, but also some personal things.
Totally depends on your amount of time, to be honest. Because I'm like, yes, I do think that having both of those is great. I mean, my brand, for example, of like at Sam the branding coach is literally the example of I'm a branding coach and then I'm also Sam. Like, like those two things. Do I have a private page? Yes. Like I have one that I just use for like friends or like whatever, but I'm on my business one all the time. So really, I think because we're so busy as business owners, it really is dependent on how much time you want to spend on something. Because if you want to grow quickly, build a different kind of following, you can have people all over the world flying in to be here. Just because this is the biggest city for turnaround, so why not?
Yeah. So yeah, and I always see the value of like someone like you doing it, right? Doing a coach doing it, like a realtor doing it, because like they are the brand, they are the company. But for me, like since I don't want the company to be around me, even though it kind of is because of the way that I've been building it.
Yeah.
So like originally, actually, I was building it to be like every other studio, which is like you're just a time slot. Like they don't care. They don't offer support. If they do, they're going to charge you a ton of money for it.
Yeah.
But then once we started seeing the types of people coming in through our studio and realizing that they needed more help and that I have that like skill set and that experience to help guide them, that we could just incorporate that into who we are. That's when I was like, okay, that's what we need to do. But then the problem is then that becomes on me again. And so, yeah, that's always been my struggle with it. It's just, I don't know, trying to figure out what we want the studio's page to look like and how do we represent what we do well online.
I mean, what if you could break apart all the things that you do from like start to finish with a client? What does that look like?
I mean, depending on the client, I mean, we start from literally the beginning, helping them set up everything. Almost all of our clients, we're going to sit down with and like learn what their goals are. Why do they even think they want to start a podcast or create content with us? And if so, like, okay, well, then what are the goals for that? Are they realistic? How do we help you achieve those goals? Or if your goal is this and your vision was this, that vision probably is going to help you get there. So let's adjust it and constantly change on what we're trying to do and the type of people that you're bringing in, the conversations you're having.
Yeah.
And we even do like where we actually distribute the content too for some clients.
I mean, that's cool though, because you're basically walking someone through the entire journey, which isn't always the case with a lot of podcast studios. Like I was literally just talking with a friend who was at one in LA where like, oh, do you like polish the content or not? And they were like, no, just here's the raw footage. Like, you know, that's it. And it seems like you have much more of a hands-on approach, which is so much more welcoming, to be honest. Because I think it's like, yeah, a whole podcast studio of like one big stage could look really cool. But that being said, it also makes it more personal when I know the fact that like if I'm going to come in here and I want to start a podcast but I have no direction, you're going to help me. That's a brand in itself.
Yeah, and I just think that there's so many people that are brand new to this stuff. I mean, same with like branding. Like even though branding's not new, you have this like huge like wave of people going like, I need to start branding now, and I don't know how.
Yeah.
Because it's become more popular, it's become more relevant, and I don't want to say more relevant or more needed because it's always been needed.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of caught on in the business world because they're incredibly slow to adapt to everything.
Agreed.
Right. Even with podcasting, like I actually wanted to open up a space about 7-8 years ago, but I already knew I was like, okay, if I open up one now, like I'm not to like try convince people nonstop about why they need to do it.
Yeah.
It's like, so I just waited until I was getting people asking me to do it for production. I was like, well, that's expensive. Let me just open a place that's more affordable. And then let's get ready, which took them like, 8 years, 9 years, something like that to like finally catch on. Like, oh yeah, we need to do this for our business.
Yeah.
How, for you, like what types of businesses are you typically working with?
I don't have a niche, for example. Like, I mean, I thought about it. Like, I've tried to like go into certain industries areas, but I love business owners who are really either like right in the beginning of their brand or they're kind of wanting to rebrand. So I've worked with estheticians, financial advisors, founders of all different kinds of things. Like, there's kind of no bounds as to what branding can do. I think for me, the things that makes me different is I focus on why you're the obvious choice in your industry and pull that out, because we talk about branding and where branding is right now is that branding isn't what's the word? Branding is at a space and time where it's like you need you in it, because that's what people want. Like, I don't know if you felt the shift too, but I feel like maybe like September, October of last year, it just felt like this huge shift in the consumer market, and overall people were just so tired of like the influencer bubble. They were like, F this, like, we're done, like, I'm not doing this anymore. And it changed sales dramatically from then, of like, for all coaches and businesses, they were like, I'm not buying courses anymore, I'm not doing anything anymore. Like, they basically were just burnt out, like all consumers, like every single coach at every single industry was feeling it. And so I don't know if you felt that too, but basically that's kind of where I'm like, I lost my train of thought. I'll come back to it. It'll come back to me. No. What was your original question again?
I don't even remember.
Fuck me.
Well,
Gabe, do you remember it?
I can kind of hop in from there, though.
Oh, it was like your niche.
Yes. Okay. That's good. Great. Love when we I don't have a niche. I don't. I mean, that's kind of the fun part. I feel like I get to work with all different kinds of people. But anyway, is like the point being is that I love to work with all different kinds of people and find them the obvious choice. And that bubble, after it shifted, it really was, okay, what makes you unique? How can you infuse yourself in your business? And what are you doing differently? Because if you're not doing that, you're missing a huge opportunity.
No. Yeah. And I agree with that. Like, so I've actually always hated influencers. I think in the beginning, well, there's a saying, right? Marketing ruins everything. Mm-hmm. Because it does. You get this new thing that's like, oh, this is really cool, this is awesome, and it's like great, but then marketing comes into it and then it gets oversaturated with it, right? And they kill it, you know. And that's what happened with like influencers, and everything just became so fake, and everything became so like, what made influencers cool is like they were just being them. And they're just sharing like, oh, this is what I use. And, you know, it's like some attractive girl showing what makeup she does. And now everyone's like, oh, I'm going to buy that because she's attractive. It'll make me attractive, right? Like that weird thing that we do as humans. And then, yeah, you get marketing and sales come along and amplify that. And, I mean, the same things. I mean, it happens in every part of everything with business, I feel like. And I think it is really important to, like, stand on what sets you apart and figuring that out and finding how to share that well, right? Like for us, like we try really hard to create a lot of educational content.
Yeah.
And like I talk all the time, like I don't even care if you use our studio, just start. Mm-hmm. Like if you're a small business owner, you should have a podcast for these reasons. Do it with your phone. Do it with a potato. Do it like however you want. I don't care, but just do it. Potato? Yeah. I don't care how you film it, right? Like just start because you want to do it. It's going to help your business. And I think that sets us apart a little bit because everybody else is like, come to us. And I'm like, I mean, go somewhere. Mm-hmm. Just, I don't care where you go. And I lost my train of thought. Okay. We have a lot of that happening.
I've had a few of those conversations. I mean, to your point, I'm actually curious of like, if you feel the same way of like, when did marketing get schemy? Because like, it just...
it's always been that way.
I mean... It kind of hasn't.
The whole point of it is to convince people that this thing is good for you, or that there's a connection between you and this product, mm-hmm. right, or this service. And so it always was that way. It's just some people are really good at disguising it because there's more care behind it of like, let's find the best fit. Let's really try to help people find what they want to work with and what they need. But then you have an overwhelming majority that are like, let's just make money.
Yeah. So
and let's figure out how do we leverage this tool to trick people into it, right? I mean, it's the same thing in, you know, you go like to like the straight up like business coaching world, right? Like there are a handful of people that are very good at it and that have experience and that can help. But then you have all these people that sell these online courses we were just talking about. You sell online courses about selling online courses to people about selling online courses. Yeah. Right? And that's how you make your money to sell more online courses. Like, and so I feel like it's always been that way. It's just, I mean, it's probably more prevalent because social media just kind of opens our eyes to everything quicker.
Yeah.
And so things kind of like catch on quicker, and then it's like, oh, well, okay, well, that's already overused and overdone. That's why for me, I've always just been a big fan of like caring. Like,
Yeah.
let's just help people and let's just do the right thing.
Yeah.
And that will help, that'll grow over time and tell our story. But even like when you look at a lot of the stuff that people talk about in the industry today, right? Like a lot of the buzzwords from the past few years, which I hate, is authenticity. Right? Like that's not a buzzword. That's a state of being.
I know, right? But they've made it a buzzword.
And then everybody's like, oh, I'm being authentic or giving value, right? Value-based marketing. Oh, yeah, I'm going to give you value. But it's not really value. It's just, it's a fake value wrapped up, or sales pitch wrapped up as a value.
Yeah.
And you don't really give them any information versus what real value-based marketing is. And so everything just gets kind of like taken over, I feel like. But
It does. I mean, because like to the point of like, when did marketing get schemy? You're probably right. It has been there the whole time. I just feel like businesses lost brand, like in the sense of like, maybe toothpaste is a good example. Do you have a certain toothpaste that you're like loyal to?
whatever my wife buys.
Okay. See, so is it the same consistent one? Has it been like that over the years, or has she
I
brought
think-
a new ones?
She kind of changes it up. She's not super consistent with it, I don't think. I
Okay.
think kind of, but not really. I actually don't really know.
Okay, well, I mean that's fair, but you've definitely had a few different flavors in your mouth where you're like, that's not the same toothpaste as I've had before. Whereas I think that's the case of like flights, like loyalty to like certain airlines. Toothpaste is just a great example. We talked about this in when I was in grad school. The professor was just like, yeah, I used to buy the same toothpaste and then this brand looked intriguing and then this brand looked intriguing and then the marketing got me. And then loyalty changed. Whereas like the airlines is a great example, is the fact that it used to be about customer loyalty and it used to be like, oh, the more rewards you have, the more that you would benefit. We are just here for the brand. We're here to help you, like come to us. Versus now, Southwest is a great example of like them changing to be from you get to pick your seats into now assigned seats, where it's like everyone follows suit with the crowd eventually, which is like why? Because we're brand loyal for you for that. So why would you feel like you need to change?
Yeah, no, Southwest, screw them.
Exactly.
So I fly Southwest for like everything. We have their business card through them. We have the companion pass, all these reward points. I can't believe that they're changing that. Like the only reason why I fly with Southwest,
Yeah.
right, is the offering that they have. That's what sets them apart. And I don't even care if they're a little bit more expensive than the flight, because like I don't have to like do math, and like it's like all included, like the 2 bags, and they're removing the 2 bags fly free.
Yep.
They're changing up the seating policy, which I personally love.
Agreed.
Right? Like, and they said that they did some sort of whatever to see, or poll to see like if they should change it or not, which is not true.
No.
The only people who don't want those seats changed are the people that are in like C or D group at the very end, and they have to sit in the middle. Those are the only people, which would be like a third.
Which is like you have the benefit for like pay for it if you really want, if you don't want to sit in
Yeah.
it. Like you can get the early bird pass, you can pay the $40, you can do whatever. But it's like, that's where I'm just like, that's the brand loyalty part where I'm just like, why change to a model that like, yes, we understand that it may bring you more money, may do all those things, but like you're losing a huge part of like your fan base, or like quote unquote fan base.
Yeah, no, I'm in actually a few like groups that talk about like how to use like Southwest points, and all of them are like, I'm never flying with them again because of this. Like I'm gonna move over here because the flight's no different. Like the in-flight experience isn't much different than like any of these other airlines, really. And so it's like these certain little things that you kind of like latch onto and that you like. Like for us, like our entire hockey team travels Southwest for the most part, because the boys can go sit with each other. We take over the back of the plane. Everyone just goes sits by each other. And now that's going to go away. I don't think most people are going to be flying Southwest from the team anymore.
Exactly, which is kind of the sad part, where that's where I'm like, marketing may have always been schemy, but I think the part where companies and people have changed is they forgot about the brand. Because people sometimes are really brand loyal. They like the brand, and the brand is really truly, like you said, about answering why, like what problem am I solving for you? How am I helping you? Southwest, I'm helping you because you can sit next to your spouse without having to worry about it. Yeah, maybe it's holding a backpack. Is that like totally with their policy? No. But people did it anyway. It's like, I just wanted to sit here, So like, that's fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But I think people just got lost in it.
Yeah. Why'd you move to Vegas?
The long-winded way around. I moved to Vegas for opportunity. I was, in the Bay Area for the past on and off 6 years. I love it. Got my master's degree, have 2 other degrees. Don't miss it though.
Yeah. What do you like about Vegas so far? Because you've been here about 2 months, you said. Mm-hmm. So far, like what kind of stands out as like somebody new to Vegas? Like what do you like, or maybe what kind of surprised you about the city?
I think what surprises me the most is that I've gotten the most comments is that Vegas is a city where it holds up the mirror that you want to see. And so for me, I moved here to meet other entrepreneurs and to be involved in business and to like do that type of stuff. But you could very quickly go into like a very different world if you really wanted to. But that's not the mirror I'm holding up. I'm holding up business. And like I came here to make money. I came here to like meet more people that are like-minded because I love the Bay Area and there's really truly nothing wrong with San Francisco. It's like forever a home and it has a place in my heart. But the entrepreneur scene is just not present. And so that was really what surprised me here. There's always stuff going on. And like, I mean, even for me as like the grandma that I am is like, I could live for an 8:30, 9 o'clock bedtime, but like I'm going to bed at like midnight here. I'm going to bed at like 2 a.m. and finding myself still waking up at 6, like sleeping less, doing more. And that's kind of what energy I wanted. And so I think that is the kind of energy that I'm surrounding myself with. And so that has been very fun.
What's been your favorite like place to eat at so far?
Ooh, okay. I had a barbecue spot yesterday. Hold on. I have to find out the name because if you haven't been there, whoo, I was like, I don't really know if like, is Vegas like really famous for something food wise?
No.
Okay.
We're famous from not being famous.
Other than being Sin City in itself.
Yeah. I don't think we have like our food, right? Like, 'cause you could go like to Texas and get like barbecue or you know, the Texas Twinkies. Those things are so good.
They are good.
You know, I feel like all places kind of have their own. We kind of just have like everything. I don't think there's
Fair
like
enough.
a Vegas food. What do you think, Gabe?
Maybe like bars, like
Yeah, bars. We have clubs. Clubs are our food.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nightlife is what we're known for.
I think it's called, am I tripping? I'm pretty no, it's not that. I was like, damn, I just don't have any Wi-Fi in here. So I was just like, I'll find you the name, but it was a barbecue place that I literally just went to yesterday. And it's probably my favorite thing thus far because.
What side of town?
North, since I live over in the north side. So it's like, but it's really close to the strip. It's just like right on the other side, kind of like where like, you know, that their whole like the strip club avenue kind of thing.
Oh, I know a place you're talking about. Roll Smoke?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like right under the freeway. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of my favorite spots.
That place is good. I've been there once. It's too far for me to travel down there.
See, I get that, but I mean, everything's only 20 minutes here.
No, that's true. That is one nice thing. I think like compared to like California, and I assume the Bay Area maybe it's a little bit different than like California like area.
Agreed.
But where everything, I feel like in California everything's like an hour and a half away.
I mean, yeah,
even if it's like a 5-mile drive, it's still an hour and a half.
It feels like that for sure. San Francisco is a very unique city in the sense of like I could be going literally 3 miles and it'd take me 45 minutes, which is crazy, right? Versus here, I'm going 20 miles and it takes me 15 minutes. Like, that's the difference. Like, my mom literally just asked me the other day, she's like, are you driving more? And I was like, yes. Like, I can't walk anywhere. I mean, I can technically walk downtown, but no. Am I going to do that? No.
Yeah, we're not really a walking city. No. You got to drive everywhere. But everywhere is kind of like that same distance. It's like 20-ish minutes and you're probably there.
Yeah. The furthest is probably out here / like really Henderson. That's about it.
Yeah. Rolling Smoke is pretty good, though. I've been there.
Yeah.
I think they kind of blew up for a minute. Did you ever go there? I think they're like on a TV show or something, too.
I think so. They were so good, though. And I mean, my whole family is from Kansas City, Missouri. So, like, barbecue is like in my veins. And so to have a barbecue basically like level up with that was like, okay.
What do you think makes Vegas, like why did you pick Vegas for like the entrepreneur scene? What do you think makes our city like special for that?
I was like, do you want the woo version or like the actual version?
Actual.
Okay. Because I was like, the woo version is fun. But the actual version is, I think that it's growing, it's changing, and everyone does different things. Like, you never meet the same person twice. It's just a revolving door of people. And so I think the opportunity is literally endless. And I never thought about the city that way until a friend said that to me. He was literally like, this city is like every single day there's somebody new. And I was like, that's wild. Because obviously, like New York, there's plenty of other cities that get so many travelers, but Vegas is really like almost every single day, could be literally every single hour that we have a brand new revolving door of people. So I think that's what kind of sets it apart to me, is that you never know who you're going to meet on the street because everyone comes to Vegas eventually. And for me, it has definitely made me push myself out of my comfort zone. And I've only been here for 2 months, but it feels like I've been here for literally ever because I've been so busy.
What's your least favorite thing about the city so far? Summer's just coming, so I'm sure that'll change soon.
I don't mind the heat, to be honest, only because that sounds crazy, right?
As long as you're inside, it's not bad.
I think I needed it for so long that I think probably this first year it'll probably be like heaven to me, because San Francisco is primarily foggy. And so I have gotten more sun in the 2 months that I've been here in the past 3 years in San Francisco. And so even my friend who was visiting yesterday, like I told you, he like literally flew in and he was like, oh, the sun's making me sleepy. And I was like, now it makes me energized, versus I was so vitamin D deficient that I was ridiculous. So weather wouldn't be that. Probably, I think the construction is a little different, because like if you live, like I live right next to construction that's almost done, but it's interesting when it's like most of it can be commercial zoning. So like you could have construction soon in the middle of the night versus during the day because it's so hot. So that's a little different. But I mean, truthfully, that has been maybe my least favorite thing. But other than that, I don't really have any complaints.
Yeah, they say that the construction cone should be changed to our desert flower, like our national or our state flower.
I can see that.
They never go away. I feel like that might be like that everywhere, though, or maybe not. I don't know. But
I mean, San Francisco is an old city, so like that's a little different. Like the Bay Area is like old, right? Like you have construction, but like there are so many zoning laws that it takes forever to get permits, and like to even retrofit a house takes forever. So I think for how quickly things move here, it's kind of just like, but that's what's changing. Is I literally had a friend visit who's from here, and they were like, in the past 8 years that they haven't been here, it's a whole new city.
Oh yeah, it changes so much. It's kind of crazy, you know. Like drive by and you see these areas, like because I grew up here since I was like 2, and so you see these areas like I used to go like play in the desert, and it's like homes for miles and miles and miles. And,
yeah.
And then like I was talking about this the other day, actually, like how like the Strip, like we don't have old buildings. Everything's built to be destroyed.
Yep.
So that's all they do. They don't like keep it and renovate it and rebuild on it. They just implode it and move on and build the next one.
Exactly. Which is like, I don't know if that's, I mean, it's wasteful, but it's also kind of like smart. Like, I mean,
Yeah, but then we don't get like the cool old historic buildings, and
I mean, you have like the Neon Museum, right?
yeah, the graveyard of the buildings that used to be here.
Yeah.
We do have, I mean, like the Smith Center. So that's actually one thing. I interviewed Myron Martin, the owner of the Smith Center, and he was saying like because this town is like not meant to last, he wanted to build something that was meant to last. So he built the Smith Center to be historic, to last, right? Use the type of material to make it last.
Yeah.
And then use like some of the architects from the Hoover Dam and stuff. Have you gone out like exploring at all? Like, have you gone to like any of the tourists, like the dam or?
I haven't been to the dam. No, I mean, it's funny because like I only had been here like 2 other times prior to like actually like investing in moving here, and I had never been on the Strip. And so my very first time of like being here on the Strip was like in January when I came to tour houses. And so the Strip, sure, I feel like I just did something touristy. I mean, we went to like Din Tai Fung in the Aria that like popped off on TikTok.
Yeah.
So like I don't consider it's not necessarily touristy, but kind of.
Did you like it?
I thought it was good.
I didn't like it.
It was like
My wife and I went there recently. Now I'll say this: when we normally go on our dates, because I think this might have been for like a birthday or anniversary or something, we go like to nice restaurants.
Yeah.
So I thought we were going to like a nice restaurant. When you walk in there, it's like a cafeteria basically. Like I felt like I was in an airport.
It did
eating
feel
at
like
like
that.
an airport cafeteria, and the food was all right. Like, I didn't care for it, and she probably didn't like my attitude about not caring about it.
San Francisco has so much like Asian food and like dim sum and everything like that I was kind of like, I was going for my friends because that's what they wanted to try, and I was like, great, sure, I'm in. But I mean, otherwise, I could probably avoid Asian food for the next like 2 years, just because I've eaten so much.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's just like, once again, this expectation of like, I thought we were going to like a nice restaurant, and my wife's made me kind of bougie when it comes to restaurants. Like, I used to like never eat anywhere nice, and now like I like nice restaurants, and I like the service there. I like the food. And so I was expecting that, and it's like this cafeteria looking place. Like, why are we here? Like, who comes to this place? Like, why is...
No, that's true. I mean, I'm the one place I'm dying to try is Esther's Kitchen. That is the one place that I feel like I've heard a lot about.
I don't think I've been there. Have you been to Esther's?
I've heard about it, no.
They're really hard to get like reservations with. Like, you have to book like 2-3 weeks out.
Yeah. The Golden Steer, you have to book like 6 months out.
The what?
Golden Steer.
I feel like I just heard
It's a
about that.
steakhouse.
Oh.
Like, it's like on Sahara, I think, in the Vegas Boulevard. It's just like this small, tiny, like, steakhouse, I guess. Old Vegas style. But, like, it's like 6 months out to, like, get a spot there. That and, there's a different steakhouse. They do, like, these specials. Like, they're like 50% off, but their specials run all day, so their food's just 50% off all the time, right? Marketing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where it's like I think Vegas is so vast in the sense of how much food there is. So, I mean, like, you really could survive on, like, not eating the same thing twice ever. But, I mean, favorite place thus far is Weira Thai. Love Weira Thai. That's, like, when I face Thai food.
Where's that at? I guess in the north, probably, yeah.
It's in the north, but I think there's another one. There's 2 locations. One, it's over by, is it Palace Station, that hotel?
Oh, yeah.
So that's where the one is, kind of a little bit further down. And then I think the other one's in Summerlin, maybe.
That's cool. I like food.
I love food.
I will say that. I think that's one thing about Vegas, that, like, we have some of the best food. Like, we might not have our own food, but we take all of your guys' culture, and we just do it better.
That's right. You got the chefs and everything. I haven't quite. My thing is like seafood / sushi. There's one thing where I'm on the hunt for it to find like a really good spot, just because like it's all like imitation crab here. I'm like, don't touch me with that.
Yeah, I mean, coming from the Bay Area, right? Like, it's probably a little bit different. Although I'll have to text you, because I hate sushi, but I take my wife for it, and there's a spot that she really likes and says it's like the freshest. And that is one thing about like Vegas. Like, we get ours, like, they're quick to getting the fish over here, and the way that they package it keeps it technically fresh or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably easy because like Japan's just a hop and a skip over.
Yeah. Oh, my throat. Tickling it. Yeah, it's like
do you need water or anything?
Nah, I'm just dying. It's okay.
It's okay. If he like falls on the table, I just was never here.
Yeah. Well, I'm fat, so I could talk about food all the time.
Don't do that.
But we won't. What is like one tip of branding that you would give somebody that like is maybe new to branding or like kind of lost on what to do? Like, what's the biggest takeaway that somebody could have?
That's a good question. I think don't overcomplicate it. Find yourself in your brand and really just know who you're talking to. Because I think understanding your audience is really everything, because per se for like this studio, you kind of have to know that you're talking to small business owners in order to talk to them directly, right? We have an idea of people that we talk to, like having a niche, having like being specific. Those are 2 different things, but they allow you to be like, oh, hey, if I know that my audience needs this specific, like they need this specific help with something, great. That's where I think branding really comes into the fact, because I don't focus on the fact of branding being the logos, the colors, the fonts. I look at the identity of something and the identity of literally who's inside the business. Who are you serving? How do you help them? Why should they follow you? And what exactly do you do that makes you so important? So I think it's a little bit more than one, but there's a lot of things that fall into branding that I'm like, at least have yourself in it, make it fun.
Awesome. And where can people find out more information about you and get help with branding?
My best place is on Instagram at Sam the Branding Coach. Very easy. Or my website is polariscreatives.com. Two very different names, but Sam the Branding Coach has literally everything that you could find. So I'm always there to chat. If you have any questions, never feel afraid to ask.
Welcome to Built in Vegas, the podcast where we spotlight the stories, strategies, and resources behind the businesses that make Vegas thrive. Whether you're starting up or scaling up, you're in the right place. Brought to you by the Video Podcast Studio.